Welcome back to the Boat Shop. My name's Rod. We're working on a whole bunch of fine little details to get Elfyn finished here. And in this episode I'm going to cover installing the mast step and cutting the hole in the forward thwart, which will act as the mast partner to hold the mast up. So let's get to it. It's a pretty simple process here. Got a block of 1.5 inch thick mahogany. Dimensions are 4.5 wide. So I'm Now the mast step needs a large slot or dado cut in the bottom of it to fit over top of the keelson. I'm going to start by cutting it. It's a 1/2 inch deep, right down the center, and then I'll work my way out because I can cut, flip and cut until we have it so that it'll fit over the keelson, which is 1.5 inches wide. Of course, I could have set up the dado's blades in there, but by the time I got them out, switch them out, I can do it all. So that should fit over top of the keelson. Perfect. Now we're just going to need to bevel all these corners here so that it will drop. The center section will sit flat on there. The mast is actually not going to sit on the mast step, it's actually going to sit on the keelson. So there'll be a hole drilled through the center of this, right through, so that it can sit. So what we need to do right now, I might put a little something in there like that. So we should be trimming something like that, so enough that it'll drop right down. My guess is it's going to be the easiest way to do this on a table saw. I shall set up the blade. Fence to the other side here. So, the question will be, is that enough? I think that's almost perfect. There is a full-size pattern right here on the plans, and if I just take this, looks like that is almost the perfect radius for the corners. So we'll cut that out the bandsaw and clean up on the disc sander. The hole is 1 3/4, which I am going to do with the Forstner bit. If we have one that big, not sure. Yeah, we do. And I suppose while we're drilling holes, I can remove the forward thwart here and drill a hole for the mast partner. The mast, as it goes through the thwart or partner, is 2 5/8 diameter. However, to avoid any wear and tear wood on wood, I like to wrap it in leather, and that obviously stiffens it up. This leather is 3/16 thick, so 2 5/8 plus 6/16, which is 3/8. So we need to go, I've got 1 3/4 here. That's only 1/4 of an inch more. Could do. I really need a 2 7/8 drill. Don't have. So the question is, drill it at 2 3/4, which the mast will fit right through nicely. And then when it comes time to putting the leather on, I can try and just ream out the opening a bit with a rasp. I mean, you don't really want to make the hole too big, and obviously I could then wrap thicker leather around there, but that's going to be a little overkill as well. So I think I'm going to go with the 2 3/4 and make it bigger as necessary for thinner leather. Alright, well, we're going to put this in a drill and sort it out. Alright, well, here goes nothing. I punched a hole and started a hole with a different drill bit just to get this so you can find the center easy. And now we want to make sure we're going in there straight. Okay, so I have the boat pretty much level fore and aft. I have the boat pretty close to level of fore chips. So according to drawings, it's into there. If I lean this against the back of the opening and get level, I can draw in the back down below, and according to plans, the aft edge in the partner versus the aft edge in the step, the difference is 7 7/8 minus 5.5 is 2 1/4. So this should be 2 1/4, which I had on that line there. So that means the mast step stern edge is there. And is that the rake that would be required? That would be the rake of the mast from the step through the partner. But you know what? It's lunchtime. So if we have our measurements correct, should be able to check the rake or angle of the mast off of the front seat. We're just going to do that. Put the mast step in where I had previously marked it locating. If I rest a straight edge against both the back edges there, we are pretty darn close to the rake angle. So all of our measurements are correct. Now the question is, do I screw that down or glue that down or both? Alright, I've marked off for 4 number 10s bronze screws, 1 inch from each edge, 4 in total. I have it where I want it. I just mark inside this hole, which will be covered by the screw, but that is the forward edge. Now, prior to gluing that in, I've got some filler in the holes here. I'm going to clean this up and sand. Now I do believe prior to install that this should get a couple of coats of epoxy underneath here. Water's going to run underneath, so let's coat this with a couple of coats of epoxy today, and then we'll glue it in tomorrow. I put this out in the sun, it's going to kick off pretty fast so I can get a second coat on. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Hey, do consider giving me a thumbs up on this video or leave your comments down below. And we'll see you next time.